I'm going to do a reformer workout, and I'm going to use a little ball for some of the exercises. So if you grab your little ball, it's optional. You don't have to use it if you don't have one. And then I'm going to start with 3 springs on. So depending on your brand of reformer, you can adjust depending on what it feels like on your abs or legs. You can adjust. I'm starting with 2 reds and a blue. Okay? Headrest can be up or down, whatever feels best to you. And then we're going to start on our back with some footwork. So heels on the foot bar. We're going to bring them into that close, heels touching, toes touching, legs together, arms down by your side. And then find your neutral spine. So if you need to do a little anterior posterior tilt of the pelvis to find it, you want to find where that tailbone's heavy on the mat, your abdominals are connected to stabilize that back and pelvis. And then on your next breath, lengthen your legs, press your carriage away, keep your legs zipping together, and keep your toes pulled up as you pull back in. Lengthen out, resist the way in. So find your seat muscle to extend out and resist the in. Lengthen it out, resist it back in. So you want to resist the out and the in, so you're controlling the springs. Pressing out and back in. 2 more, just like that. Lengthen it out long. Last time. Bring it back in. Now, we're going to go high heel Pilates V. So toes are a little bit apart, heels are squeezed together. Rotated from the hip joint, knees point towards my own shoulders. As I press out on those high heels, I'm going to zip my legs together. And then I'm going to resist and pull those knees back in line with that second toe. Lengthen out into that Pilates V, similar to the first position. Abs nice and tight. Arms down long by your side. Pressing it out and resisting back in. Make sure your ankle is nice and stable. So keep big toe and little toe in contact. Ankle stabilizers working. 2 more. And then bring it all the way in. So let's take it to the wide Pilates V, or that second position. I'm going to the heel cups, or the kind of where the arch and the heel meets. Knees again towards own shoulders. Press out, pillows under thighs, zip together. Resist it back in. Lengthen it out. Resist it back in. Lengthen out. So I like to feel like my heels are being pulled together by magnets, like the big cartoon magnets, right? Pull it in and out. So I'm activating all those seat inner thigh muscles, and my abdominals are still working to control my alignment as I press out. 2 more here. Last one. And then bring it back in. All right. Back to high heels, together in the middle, up on the balls of the feet. Ankles are open. We're going to press the carriage out. Lower the heels, lift the heels, control the carriage back in. I'm going to do that again. This time I'm going to do 2 lower end lifts, or calf raises, right? A little tendon stretch. Hold the high heels, and then return to the stopper. Now 3. Press out. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. I'm going to hold the high half toe position and bring it back in. Now I'm going for 4. Press it out. Abs stay tight. Thighs are active. Moving from the ankle. Holding the high half toe. Pull it back in. 5. Going up the pyramid, and then when you come back down, lower and lift. Breathing, stabilizing back and pelvis. High heels, bring it back in. Your calf muscles should be getting warm. We're coming back down, so press out once. 4, lower and lift of the heels. Stay up on those high heels, bring it all the way back in. Now 3, press out, lower and lift. Thighs are active, feel those kneecaps still sliding up. Hold the high heels, bring it all the way back in. 2, lengthen, lower and lift, lower and lift. Bring it back in, one more time. Press it out, lower, lift, and bring it in. All right, my calves are nice and warm. I'm gonna go back to my heels, and I'm gonna have my feet now lined up with my sits bones, those ischial tuberosities. I'm gonna take my right leg out long and keep that foot dorsiflexed or the toes pulled up towards me. As I press out with the left leg, I'm gonna lift the right leg to the sky and point the toe. I'm gonna flex to draw it back down towards the foot bar. Lift and lower. My goal here is to keep my back and pelvis still as I just move from the hip joint of the gesture leg and then hip and knee of the pushing leg. So I'm giving that little paintbrush toes, lifting and lowering. One more, I'm gonna hold this one out. Staying here, abs tight. I'm gonna do a one-leg circle. So my leg on the foot bar is staying long and strong. I'm gonna take my other leg across my body, down, around, and up. 4 more times. Across, down, and around, and up. My abs are drawing in to stabilize my pelvis as best I can. Breathing. One more. Bring it up to the sky, pause. Reversing the circle, still long and strong in that down leg. Go across the body, around and up. Away, around and up. One more time. I'm gonna bring it up, and then I'm gonna flex that foot. I'm gonna come all the way back to the stopper. All right, from here, same thing, other side. So I get my feet back in, line it up, left leg reaches out, line, right leg is parallel, dorsiflex, neutral spine. As I press out, I'm gonna point that left toe to the sky, and then I'm gonna flex the heel as I come back in. So that's where I visualize that my foot is the paintbrush, painting the wall across from me. The goal is those abdominals stabilize back and pelvis. So I'm only lifting that gesture leg as high as my hamstrings will let me without lifting my bum up, right? So don't lift the tuchus. 2 more full range. And now I'm gonna go out and stay. Keep that right leg long and strong and active so you're not hiking the hip, abs are in. Now, pointing the toes, still that gesture leg. We're going to go across the body, down, around, and up. You can make the circle smaller if you need to for stability. You should feel those obliques activate. Exhaling as you come up one more time on this direction. Bring it up, pause. Now go away from your body, down, around, and up. Away, down, around, and up. Breathing. I think we have one more. All the way up, flex the foot, draw yourself back in and rest. All right, I have my little ball nearby, so if you don't, grab it. If you don't use it, it's optional. I'm gonna put the paw just above my knees between my inner thighs. My headrest is already down. If yours is not, please put it down for the safety of your neck and cervical spine. So, which is the same thing. We're gonna find that nice long line. I have my heel cup right where my arch and heel meet on the foot bar, and I'm going to articulate my spine up. I'm going to keep the ball connected so I have a little pressure on it so my inner thighs stay connected. Curling up, peeling up, bone by bone by bone, like a strand of pearls in that spine, right? Reaching knees over toes. Inhale, and then I'm going to exhale, melt it back down again, nice and slow. If you've got osteoporosis, herniated discs, etc., and you feel like you should be a hinger instead of a peeler, then by all means, modify for your body. And then I'm lowering back down. I'm going to do that one more time. I'm trying to activate abs, glutes, and hamstrings. So I'm going to start with the abs curling my pelvis towards me, and I'm going to peel my spine up, knees over toes, and then I'm going to melt it back down one more time. I'm going to come up and stay in my bridge. So peeling up, holding, think knees over my toes. I really want to activate the glutes and the abs so I stay nice and open here. I'm going to keep some pressure on that ball, and then I'm going to press my carriage out. My whole shape lowers a little bit, but the goal is that my knees to shoulder angle stays the same. But just as I extend my knees, my whole body will lower a little bit because my shin angle changes, right? Are you still squeezing that ball? Yeah? 2 more, pressing out, in. The more the abs and glutes are active, a little bit nicer it is on the hamstring. We're gonna hold this next one in. Stay in your bridge. Now, give me a little pressure on the ball. Press on the ball. A little inflate, deflate. Find the pelvic floor, inner thighs, and those glutes should be active, right? 2, 1, hold, and then melt all the way back down. Whew, that warmed it up. All right, I got one more progression. If the progression is not okay with you, you can repeat what we just did. I'm gonna do a single leg version. So tighten my abs, brace, and I'm gonna lift up in one piece or thereabouts. Straightening my left leg. My right leg is still reaching, side of the waist is long. Here, I'm gonna press into the ball. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the left knee, find the foot bar. Reset, realign. Left leg is on the bar, right leg is out long, and then press. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, bend that knee, stay in that bridge. Hinge the hips back down. All right, I'm gonna try to progress that to moving the carriage. Option to repeat what we just did, right? Shoulders down, lift that bridge up. I'm gonna extend the left leg. I'm gonna hold that thigh in line with my other leg as I press the carriage out and back in. So I'm not dropping the ball, just 4 times. There's no just about it. Last time, bring it in, bend the knee. Reset, realign that bridge if you need to. Straighten the right leg. Keep pressure on the ball. Thighs are connected. Press out and in. Press out and in. Just 2 more. In, foot down, hips down, and release. All right, I am going to keep the ball, but I need to change my springs. So I'm going to swivel up to do so. I'm going to go down to 1.5 springs. You can go 2 red or red and a blue, or something nicer if you need to. We're going to go with some hands and straps. So I'm going to bring myself back down. I'm going to play with the ball position a little bit. So I'm going to put it between my ankles, my lower legs, and I'm going to grab my straps. All right, so you want to make sure you're not jammed into the shoulder blocks so you have a little bit of room to move. And now if you liked your headrest up for everything but bridges, you can put it back up now. I like mine down, it lines my spine up good. So I'm going to press into my straps till they're up over my chest and shoulders. And then I'm going to bring my legs to tabletop, okay? So do a little protract, retract, or open and close shoulder blades to feel and get connected on your back. Ribs connect on the front, neutral spine. And then hold this position. I'm going to exhale, reach my arms and legs long with a little squeeze in the ball. And then I'm going to reach, hands up, knees bend. Exhale. Inhale to lift and bend. Exhale to reach. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Reach those legs and arms long. One more time like this. And I'm going to pause at the top. All right. I'm going to take my arms to a V. I'm going to take my legs out to the long diagonal and hold them there as I open and close. My arms float up on a little bit of a diagonal, and then they come right down to the side of my hip. I'm trying to keep the ball connected, a little deflated. Scapula stable on my back, working those middle of the back muscles and a lot of abdominals. 2 more. 1 more. And then I'm going to bend it all in. All right, next up, I'm going to do coordination. Instead of opening and closing the legs, I'm going to swivel them up and down, okay? So this one, I'm going to do in flexion. So I'm going to start with my knees and elbows bent. I'm going to curl head and chest up and look at that ball between my legs. As I inhale, reach it long, and then I'm going to exhale, and I'm going to swivel the ball up and down twice. Bring it back to neutral, bend my knees, bend my elbows. 4 more, just like that. Inhale to reach, exhale to swivel the ball. Neutral, knees bend, elbows bend. Inhale to reach, exhale to swivel. Inhale to bend knees, exhale to bend elbows. Again, reach, swivel. Knees bend, elbows bend. I'm going to do one more. Reach it out, swivel. Knees bend, elbows bend, and rest it down. All right, so T-press, okay? I'm going to take my legs straight up to the sky, arms come up. I'm going to do this in a chest lift. So as I exhale, I'm going to come up, my legs are on a little bit of an angle, and then I'm going to open my arms out towards a T, sweep them to my side. I'm really scooping that belly and pulling in. I gaze at your thighs for 3, and 2, and 1, and then return. All right, I'm going to get rid of my straps so you can repeg them. I'm going to get rid of the ball and come up off of my back. I'm just going to set the ball by my foot bar stopper area so it's handy. I'm still on that 1.5 springs. Again, you could be on 2 or 1.5, whatever works best for you. Feet up against the shoulder blocks. We're going to do a little knee stretch here, okay? So to do that, I want to sit back a little bit, and I'm going to curl my tailbone under a little bit like a sad puppy, right? And I'm going to press my carriage away, and my upper body is going to stay right here. I'm going to extend my hips to pull my knees a little bit under me, and then I'm going to scoop them in. And I want to focus on the in. My shoulders are down. I'm pushing away from the foot bar versus leaning my weight on it. And I'm scooping deep belly, and I'm pulling in. One more time. Pull it in. Extend your knees. Open your heart. Now I'm in a little swan shape. I'm going to bring my full shape up and down. Moving from my shoulder in that down stretch. So I'm in a little bow shape. I sometimes describe this as being the mermaid on the end of the Viking ship. One more. I'm going to press back, hold the back, curl my knees in and my tailbone back, coming back to my stopper. I'm going to come right up into my plank position to do long stretch. So to do that, I want to press away from the foot bar, get my knees under my hips, and lengthen to my plank. My glutes are tight, my shoulders are down, my belly is in, ribs are actively pulling together. I'm going to bring chest over bar and press it away. Inhale and exhale, keeping every muscle in your body actively working. Crown of the head reaching long, pressing back, moving from the shoulder. One more time. Press back, bring it in, flatten your feet for elephant. So while I'm at the stopper, I'm going to shift my hips over my heels. I'm going to do this in a flat back position, so straight spine. I'm going to push away from that foot bar, strong shoulders, ears between my arms. I'm going to dig my heels into the mat and pull it back in. So I'm moving the carriage out and I'm resisting it in. I feel a stretch from my hip to my heel, and I'm drawing my abs in a little bit more, trying to maintain spinal stability. Again, pushing away from that foot bar versus weight loading it. 2 more. Pull it in all the way to the stopper and release. All right. From here, I'm going to come down to sitting in my cross-legged position. I'm going to go down to 1 spring. So I use the red. It could be a blue, whatever one works for you. Okay? So you're going to grab your short loops. If you need it nicer, the long loops is a quick way to make it a little bit nicer. Okay, I'm going to start with serving the tray. So my shoulders are nice and open, palms are up. And then I'm just going to reach to the foot bar and then bring it back in. Tall posture, abs in. I'm going to do 3 more just like that. Reach it out and bring it back in. Reach it out. I'm going to hold my next one out. Soften my elbows, bring my fingertips together, my shoulders are down for hug a tree. I'm going to open my handstand peripheral vision, and then I squeeze close. So chest and shoulders are working, but I want to feel the serratus muscle, which is underneath the shoulder blade. It's kind of that protract muscle. Abs are in. My posture is tall. One more time. I'm going to bend back to the serve position. All right. You may stay cross-legged. I'm going to take my legs out long, point to my toes, and sit tall. Elbows are in. This is a little front rowing move. I'm going to build up to it, okay? So as I exhale, I'm going to flex forward and reach to my foot arc. And then I'm going to slide shoulder blades down my back, bend my elbow to come back up tall. One more time like that, and then we add on. Exhale to flex and reach it forward. And then restack, bring it back in. If it's appropriate for your shoulders, join me in circling the arms up and around. Okay, so like spine stretch forward on the mat, we're going to exhale, reach forward. Palms go down. Now as I restack my spine, my arms come with me up to the sky. And then I slide my hands down like I just finished a jumping jack. Bend elbows. Exhale to flex and reach forward, pull my abs in, vertical pelvis, restack spine. Slide my hands down. Again, exhale to reach. Palms are down, restack my spine. Circle arms around. One more. Exhale to reach, pull abs in, use abdominals and back extensor muscles to come up tall. Arms circle around. All right, salute, okay? Or shave the head if you want a little different angle. I'm going to start by reaching my hands out like servo tray, flip my palms to face away from me. Shoulder blades are down on my back, abs are in. I'm slightly hinged forward, and I'm going to bring my hands to the back of my head like I'm trying to lop off my ponytail, and then I'm going to reach them away. So I'm doing the shave the head version, but you could have hands in a little triangle coming to your forehead for salute. Shoulders are connected, and I'm reaching out. Last two. I'm going to hold the out and slide my hands down to return. All right, I'm going to repegging my straps. And then from here, I'm going to come to kneeling. I'm going to go back to the 2 springs. So I have a red and a blue, or 1.5 springs. I'm going to kneel up against the shoulder blocks. You could back up a little bit away for length of the straps. If I stay up here, I feel a little bit more secure sometimes, but then I often choke up to the hardware or onto the ropes. So shoulders are down. My glutes and abs are active to keep me in a nice tall posture. And then I'm going to pull my hands to the back of my thighs and the front of my thighs. Doing that little chest expansion move. You could always stay seated like we were for the other direction if your knees aren't up for this or you're not up for the stability challenge. Reaching that crown of the head long, shoulder blades down and connected on my back. I'm going to take this into the full chest expansion move. So I'm going to hold my arms back, reach them down and away. Turn my head right, center, left, center, release it a little bit. Pulling it back and down away again. Turn my head left, center, right, center, and release. All right, I'm going to take this right into a tricep kickback. So shoulders are open. I'm going to pull my hands back and then bend my elbows and straighten my elbows. So again, you can move your hands back in your straps, shorter long loops versus the ropes, or decrease your tension if you need this a little bit less. Still nice and open across the collarbones. 3, 2, 1, and bring it in. All right, so from here, I'm going to go to the short loops because it's much nicer on my grip. And I'm going to hinge back from the knees a little bit, reaching my hands forward. So I'm in a little, call it an active plank position, leaning back. Eye gaze stays forward, and I'm going to bicep curl here. So I don't want to go into a back bend. I want to keep my ribs and hips connected. Four, abs tight, glutes are active. 2, 1, and bring it all the way up. All right. So from here, I'm going to scoot back. You could stay where you are and change the range of motion on this. I'm going to bring my left foot forward and come up into a high kneel. I'm going to cross the straps, and I'm actually, for ease of describing this, I'm actually going to only hold the strap that would be lined up with my left leg and hold it in my right hand. So again, you can choke up or down on the rope. I like to hold where the straps are sewn together on this one. And I'm going to go into a high bow and arrow type row. So I'm going to pull my elbow back and then reach forward, okay? So I'm going to pull back and I'm going to look over my shoulder and bring it back. So my hips and legs are active but staying stationary as I turn my rib cage as I pull back. So I want to initiate with shoulder blades and then the shoulder coming back. 3 more times. Last one. And then I'm going to bring it back in. I'm going to repeg that strap and switch my legs. So now I have my right foot forward, my left leg back, and I grab the right strap with my left hand. So the strap is crossed. Again, deciding where you want to hold it. Nice tall posture. My back side on the down leg is active. My abs are active, crown of the head bone. So start with just a couple, pulling that elbow wide, shoulder blades back. And then if you can, 5 times we're going to add the twist to it. So I'm going to pull back and look over my shoulder. And I'm going to twist. Again, this tension could have been lightened if you needed to. Last time. And then I'm going to return to the stopper, repeg my strap, and release. Okay, I'm going to sit down with my feet on the headrest. So here, I like to do a balance teaser, but I'm going to lighten it up to that 1 spring, so I just took 1 off. If you need a little support, a little ball behind your tailbone can help support your back and activate your abs a little bit more. I'm going to try it without. All right, so I'm sitting kind of towards my shoulder blocks. You might see me inching up here a little bit. So I have room behind me to roll back with my back. I'm going to reach my arms long. I'm going to find the back edges of my sit bones, open my heart, bring my legs to tabletop or the 45. From here, I just want to see if I can hold and balance my teaser. I'm going to open my arms a little bit to the side and back. You can always keep your legs at tabletop or put a foot down. Hands back in, feet down, sit up. So I progressed this with rolling up and down out of the teaser. You could just repeat what we did or just take a time out. So I'm going to reach my arms forward. Key on this is keep your arms straight. So find the teaser position, back edge of sits bones, legs up or tabletop, right? And then I'm going to roll my spine down till my shoulders or low back is touching. And I'm going to reach my hands up towards my toes and come back in that teaser position. I'm going to roll it down. And it could be a 2-inch little roll down, or you can go down till your lower back touches, and then look up to your toes, reach your hands up, rolling down. I'm going to try it 2 more. Again, tabletop is acceptable. Hold, hold, hold. And then bring it back up. Whew, that's work. It's supposed to be though, that's why we're doing this, right? Okay. So, again, on that red spring, for shoulder purposes, you might need to go to the blue. I'm actually going to do that because I can do the full draw the sword. You can stay seated, cross-legged, if you want, or kneel. I'm going to kneel, okay? And then I'm going to grab my strap with my outside hand. I'm going to put my other hand on the side of the waist. It'll help tell me if I'm wiggling or wiggle wobbling, okay? All right, so my feet are off the back edge, so I'm nice and lined up. You can keep this leg against the shoulder block like that for a little bit more stability. And then I'm going to draw my elbow out to the side and back down. That's the short lever version, just pulling elbow out, shoulders staying level. And then the full draw of the sword is lifting up and then bringing it back down. So elbow and then hand. So it's deltoid, shoulder muscle, and then tricep. Your key is if you're having to swivel your shoulder a lot to do this, it's too heavy for you today. Scapula stay connected on your back. Nice and stable. I'm going to go one more time here. into my inside hand. You could keep this as a short lever, rub the belly, adduction or adduction towards the midline. I'm going to bring it out to a long lever for a one arm hug a tree. And then I open to the side and I close. My elbow is soft but stationary as I pull in. 2 more. And 1. And then I'm going to bring it down. All right, so I did outside and inside. Now I'm going to add a little oblique twist. So hands line up with my sternum, shoulders down, hips stay pretty still, glutes are active, and then I'm going to twist towards the foot bar and come back. My goal here is that my chin, my hands, and my sternum all turn together, so I don't turn it into a baseball bat arm swing. Although they're supposed to rotate together too. Just skip the follow through, right? Twist. 2 more twists. Feel those obliques spiraling your spine. And bring it back. All right, coming back to the stopper. I'm going to get rid of that strap, and I'm going to turn around and do the same thing. So again, depending on your tension and your body position, you can be up against the shoulder blocks or a little bit away. If you have heavier tension, you may not draw your full sword. So I have my shoulders level, and I'm going to start with pulling my elbow out, testing where my shoulder is today, waking up those scapular muscles, and now I'm going to draw my full sword 5 times. Keeping shoulders level, elbow, and then hand. So I want to think about drawing it out of its scabbard first, and then extending it like I'm ready to fight the Zorro. 1 more time. All right, and then I'm going to take that strap to the inside hand, shoulders down. I'm going to put my hand on my other hip to feel that I'm not wiggling, wobbling, rotating. One arm hug a tree. Again, reminder, you could rub the belly in that short lever downward rotation. Otherwise, the hand is out and you're hugging that tree. So if your shoulder says no thanks today, you can take it down low. We're really trying to find scapular stabilizers, abdominals, quads, glutes. And remember that this whole series could be done seated, either seated on the box long way so you can have more open hips and knees, or down cross-legged so you don't have to be kneeling. Last time. Now I'm going to hold it with both hands. Hips stay square. I start with it in by my sternum, and I twist towards the foot bar, rotate back towards the pulleys, and I twist. Wringing out the waist. Chin, chest, sternum, and hands all lined up together. Three more for me. 2. And 1. And then I'm going to bring it back in. All right, I'm going to restrap, repeg, and I'm going to bring myself back to facing the foot bar. And then from here, I'm going to go back to 1 full spring. So for me, that's 1 red spring. And then I'm going to lay on my back. Bring your little ball with you if you have a little ball. So I'm going to do a little cross strap. So I'm going to take that right strap and I'm going to put it on my left foot. Okay, so I took it across the body. And then I'm going to put the ball between my ankles. The ball is optional, but it's going to be my guide wire. Okay, so I want long through the spine, making sure I'm away from the shoulder blocks. And again, you can have that headrest up if that's where you prefer it. And then I'm going to press out. So I don't fire into my strapped leg, lateral hip to keep from shifting, right? So abs are in, and I'm going to bend and straighten. So I just have my left foot in the strap, but I'm pressing in and out. Lateral hip active, obliques kicking in for sure. 3, 2, and I'm going to hold that out long. And then I'm going to hinge, so I'm going to lift and lower. I'm going to lift my feet up, and I'm going to lower it down. I'm trying to keep that other leg going with it, which is a challenge because the strap's just so long. I got to kick into that lateral hip. on that left side that has the strap. Inner thighs are connected too because I got the ball. So it's giving me lots of feedback here. 2 more. 1 more. And I'm going to bring it down. And I'm going to bend my knees in. All right. I'm taking the ball away. I'm just going to hold it in my hand so it doesn't roll away. And then I'm turning out to my frog position, or my laterally rotated. Heels together, toes apart. And then I'm going to press out and bend in. So again, I have that oblique and lateral hip working. My strap is still, it's diagonally across my body. So there's a different challenge here than when our straps are in line with the same side. I'm going to do 2 more. And then I'm going to hug it in. While I'm here, I'm going to take the other strap and I'm going to put it on the right foot. So they each have the strap. And then my straps make an X, okay? So now I'm going to put that ball back between my legs, but right now I'm going to put it above my inner thighs. My goal is that I don't click the hardware, and the ball is going to help keep that from happening. So I'm going to lower my legs and lift. So just so you know, it is very normal right now to feel like my left leg is longer than my right. So right now I feel more tension on that side because this side's all lengthened out because I already worked it. This is a nice transition and a little weeble wobble challenge. 2 more. 1 more. And then I'm going to hold it up to the sky. And then I'm going to squeeze my ball. Squeeze my ball. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Putting the ball in my left hand, or it doesn't really matter, out of the way. I'm going to open to a straddle and close. So I want my carriage to stay still as I do a little adductor, inner thigh activation and stretch. So an open and close. Breathe. 2 more. And then I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to bend my knees, and I'm going to take my left foot out of the strap. That was the one that was first. Right? I'm going to put the ball back between my ankles. I'm going to find that tabletop position. Now my right lateral hip and oblique are going to work a little bit more, and I'm going to press out and in. And remember, you could do all this without the ball. The ball, again, adds a little proprioceptive challenge. It means, where am I in space? But it also keeps my inner thighs firing while that opposite right outer thigh is firing. And then I'm moving from my seat and my thigh and really focusing on lumbopelvic stability and a little bit of coordination of this move. 2 more like this. I'm going to hold the next one out long. Okay, and then I'm going to lift up. I'm going to hinge it up and lower it back down. Hinge it up. And the ball can stay between your ankles, or it's a little nicer between your thighs. It's a little easier to control. Find that oblique. I'm going for 3. Keeping a little pressure on that ball. Trying to keep my legs together in their movement, even though only one has the strap. And going straight up in line with the sits bone on the strap's leg. And then I'm going to hug my knees in. I'm going to take the ball away, put it in one hand, find my frog, Pilates V shape, heels together, toes apart, and then I'm going to zip it out and then pull it back in. I feel so much deepest layers of my abs, the ones closest to my spine, and those obliques compressing to help open those hips. 3, 2, 1, and then I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to find the foot bar with that free leg, take my other foot out of the strap, re-peg it where it belongs, and then I'm going to rock and roll up to my seated position. All right, so from here, I'm going to get the box, and I'm going to put it on long ways. You can put your foot bar down and it won't be in your way or your arms. I'm gonna lay on my belly with my chest toward, at, or off the edge, wherever you fit best, so your whole spine is supported. I'm gonna cross my straps again, and then I'm gonna choke up as high as I can reach. So I'm kind of in Superman flying position. My eye gaze is gonna stay down in the well, and from here, I'm gonna pull my elbows down into a W, right? Kind of goalpost-ish. And then I'm gonna reach towards the pulleys. So it's a downward rotation of my shoulder blades, and my elbows come wide. My belly's lifted. My legs are active and reaching long. 2 more. 1 more, and I'm gonna hold that goalpost, okay? If you're up for a little challenge, straighten your elbows and bend your elbows, holding your upper arm in that goalpost shape. And just a little tricep out to the side. 1 more. And then I'm gonna bring it in. Okay, once I'm back to stopper, I'm gonna uncross my straps, I'm gonna choke up, and now I'm gonna come up into kind of more my extended swan shape. So I'm gonna lift my heart, active legs, a little bit apart, and I'm gonna pull my arm, straight back. You can keep your head and chest in neutral. You can come up and down. I'm gonna stay up for that little endurance challenge of my back extensors. 2 more. Last one. And then I'm gonna bring it down. All right, from here, I'm going to come up off of my back. Right away, I repeg my straps as well. Hands on the front corner of the box. I'm gonna round up like a bad cat, and then extend down. So I'm gonna stretch out that extension that we just did. So I'm gonna round up, pulling the abs in, and lengthen it back down. All right, I'm gonna do one of my favorite moves here. You can totally skip this or do something different. I'm gonna scoot a little bit over to the right side of my reformer. I'm gonna grab that strap and put my foot in it. Hands on the front corner of the box. I'm in a crawl position. I gotta pull my abs in, strong in my shoulders. And then I'm gonna do 5 to 8. I'm gonna pull my leg back and down. You determine your range of motion. This whole series on this long box could also be done on the half spring. I have 2 more in me. Here's my last one. Now I want to bring my leg down so my thighs are in the same plane. And I'm going to open my ankle to the side 5 times. 4, 3, trying to keep my hips as square as I can. 2, last one. And then I bring my foot back to the carriage to take my foot out. That's the way I found safest feeling for me to get in and out of there. Okay. And then I'm going to crawl, slightly shift over to the other side. So I'm in that tripod position. I have my knee a little bit over, and that just protects my foot. And then I pull on a rope to get my foot in. I get my hands back on the front corner of the box, and I push my foot down to the floor. Trying to square hips and shoulders. Sometimes I gotta put my knee down to reset, right? Strong core. 5 to 8. I think I did 8 on the other side, so I'll do that here. But whatever works for you today. Really working on compressing the abs, working back extensors to stabilize my spine. So I'm just moving from that hip. This is my last one. And then I bring my leg down so my thighs are lined up. Then I'm gonna take that ankle out to the side just a little bit. I really feel those obliques working as I work that lateral hip out to the side. And then I bring my foot back to the side of the carriage next to the box so I can take my foot out of there and repeg that strap. Okay, so I'm gonna climb off of there. I did climb off of there. and I'm gonna take my box off. I'm gonna put my bar up. It was totally optional to take it off. And then I'm gonna finish up with a little stretch. So I'm gonna sit facing the foot bar, and I'm about halfway up. I call this monkey fold over. It reminds me of the one from the Cadillac, but it's also kind of the end of the stomach massage series. So my feet are on the bar, my hands are on the bar, and then I'm gonna straighten my legs, push with my feet, pull with my arms, and pull my abs in. And then I'm gonna bend and bring it back in. So I'm gonna do that again. You could go down to the platform if you didn't have the amount of Gumby today. I want to push with my feet and pull with my hand. Pulling with my arms activates the lats and protects the low back. If you got a little more in you, you can take it into a lower and lift of the heels. Increasing the stretch every time your heels are down and up. Push, push, push with the feet, pull with the arms, and bring it all the way in. I'm going to swivel my feet to the left side. I'm going to keep my right hand on the foot bar, and I'm going to put my left hand down on that upright. This is a little scapular stretch. So I'm going to push away, and the carriage may or may not move depending on where you're at. I'm going to push away with the left hand, I'm going to pull with the right. Starting with tall posture and feeling the scapulum stretch. And then I like to nod my chin a little bit forward and round my upper spine. And it feels really good. Pushing on the foot bar hand, pulling with the down hand. So my left hand is pushing, my right hand is pulling, and I just nod and I feel that nice stretch. And then I'm going to come back in. From here, I'm going to straddle my reformer, so I'm sitting tall. I'm going to put my hands on the foot bar, and I'm going to round over. My carriage just moves a little bit. I'm just going to round my spine and look towards the springs. And then I'm going to bring it back up and open my heart into a little swanish shape. I'm going to do that one more time. It feels really good. So start with pushing away and then curling the tail under, rounding the spine, kind of like that cat, right? And then bring it back up, pressing down on the bar, lifting my sternum, extending my upper spine a little bit, and my eye gaze goes up. And then I'm going to swivel my leg across, however we need to get there. And then I put my right hand on the bar, my left hand on the upright. I'm going to push and pull in a nice tall posture and feel those shoulder blades open and connect. And then I like to round forward a little bit, nodding the chin, looking kind of towards my opposite, or my hip closest to the springs. I'm pushing with the right, pulling with the left, and feeling that nice stretch across my scapula and shoulder blades. Such a great stretch for those postural muscles. And then release that. Bring it all the way up. And y'all, that was a 50-minute reformer workout. You may always modify, go seated instead of kneeling, play with your tension. You can change footwork's tension, any of the upper body work, make it work for your body and how you're feeling each day. So I hope you enjoyed that and have a great rest of your day. And as my shirt says, hard work pays off. Do Pilates.